Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy SoSo, in case you ain't know so, and welcome back to another dope episode of Sports with SoSo. Coming to you live, y'all. This week, the Panthers beat up the Bruins up in Boston and come home ready to end the series. And Dolphins rookie training camp is underway as we look towards the future. It's time to take a ride, y'all. Let's go! I just noticed your hat, dog.
Oh.
I saw you put on the hat, but I didn't know which hat you put on.
You told me I was going to be blending into the background, so I wanted something to stand out.
No, you picked something good. You picked something good.
Well, better way to stand out than being up 3-1 in a series.
No, that's a great way to stand out for sure. For sure. That's a great way to stand out, man. It's good to see you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
It's good to see everybody tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button and dropping a comment. More importantly, turning on those notifications. And if you haven't already, you got to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and make sure you're subscribed to Miami Golf Bros as well, because we're going to have some fire in the next coming of weeks.
I still have so much content to post.
So much.
I'm feeling
I haven't even sent you mine.
I'm feeling a lot better than I did last week. Appreciate everybody that reached out that were concerned about my well-being. It was a long recovery.
Yeah.
It was a hard recovery.
It's hard.
We made it. I'm still in a weird place with golf.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's been a lot of F-bombs when it comes to you in golf.
Well, I mean, there's a viral sticker going around where I look like I'm propped up like a weekend at Bernie's. But
love that video that I took.
But yeah, man, I'm slowly coming around. I got a tee time later this week, and I think I'll be ready by then. But for right now, I'm still good. I don't care to hold a golf club, swing one, hit a golf ball.
Of course not. Just have fun when you're out there, dog. Because if you think about it, and we're not gonna get too much into it, but that's you got to wait a whole another year and a half and some change in order to redeem that as the Ryder Cup cap. You know what I mean? So what you got to look forward to with golf now is fun, right? I didn't end up doing as well as I hoped. I did better than what I thought, but now it's just about having fun and working on the game, dog. Until next year, right? And then balling out.
Oh, yeah. But we still got some golf, bro. It's getting hot, dog.
It's getting too hot.
Broward, you saw Broward hit the record for hottest temperatures.
What they
back-to-back days, 97 and then 98.
Nah, dog.
And the last high for the same time of year was like 88 or something like that. It's crazy.
Too hot.
It's getting wild.
It's wild. And that's crazy because if you think about it in golf terms, like that means that those earlier tee times are going to be booked more often.
They always are.
Always are. And the prices are going through the roof. But even those like sweet spots, those 10, 11, 9:30 spots, the 10:30 spots, I feel like they're going to be flying out too, because now people want to get in before.
Not even, dog. You get out there at 10 and you're making the turn
baked.
right at noon.
Oh, you're getting baked. You're getting baked.
Slow play. There's slow play out there these days.
Yeah.
And you get held up, bro. And that afternoon sun starts taking a pounding on you, bro.
Even at 3 o'clock, dog. Even if you go out there at 3 o'clock.
You know what chicharrones are?
Huh?
Chicharrones, you know what those are?
Yeah, I know.
That's what
people turn into.
You are after a round of golf.
For sure. It gets that hot. But let's see, man. Hopefully the weather gives us some clouds, right? We'll take the heat. Just throw a couple of clouds every now and then.
Too, bro. I know rain is not conducive to golf, but bro, honestly, we need some rain. We haven't had any.
Probably.
That's the old man in me talking.
For sure. This guy's thinking about his lawn, dog. You know where it's raining right now? For sure, in Boston. Because those guys are definitely depressed out there, dog.
Bro,
it's raining bad.
It's sad right now if you're a Boston Bruins fan, but it's super sunny and it's super fun to be a Florida Panther
fan. Baby. Come on. And the Panthers lost that first game, and everybody was like, well, they got punched in the mouth.
When did we record? We recorded last Tuesday?
Wednesday.
And when did we kick off the series?
I think it was Monday.
We had already.
That's why we didn't record.
Had that one.
We had already lost one, right? And we were playing that night.
And we had that first game. We had scored, took the early lead, and then they came back and pounced on us.
Kicked our ass, right?
So now game two.
Game two, we returned the favor. Right, you kicked our ass. Now we kicked your ass at home here before we head up to Boston.
They scored first, and
they scored first, and then we came back and we poured it on them. Right?
Yeah, great game.
Scored 3 goals in the second period.
Yeah.
Murdered these dudes. Right? Then the series heads up to Boston, and everybody's thinking, well, the Bruins are playing at home. They had a great home record. They're obviously getting into that physicality because there was a big fight in Game 2 between Kachuk and Marchand.
Pasternak.
Yeah. And, Brad Marchand is like their captain, obviously, but he's like their enforcer, right? He's the guy who goes out there and stirs the pot.
Was it Marchand that he fought or the Pasta?
No, Pasta. You're right. He fought Pasta because Pasta is supposed to be the big fighter on the group, right? So he fought Pasta.
They went down to the ice,
and it went down to the ice, and they were calling him dirty and all this stuff, right?
Because he got a couple extra licks in, but it's like
the kid threw his licks too.
Yeah, but I'm like, dog,
and
like,
Kachuk was on the ice, like face down.
Honestly, bro, like you didn't even have to come into the game and on the ice. You're not on the ice at the same time as Kachuk. So
you
like
wanted
that. You were looking for it. Now that you got your ass whooped, now you want to nitpick and be like, oh, but it wasn't a fair fight. Like, what do you mean, Bobby? Like you shouldn't have been in that situation then.
Don't call for the
smoke. Don't come on the ice. Don't come for the smoke then, bro. Because Chuck is gonna lay it down.
Not only that, bro. It's like, dog. There are no rules in street fights. If we're fighting, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to kick your ass, because if not, you're gonna do whatever it takes to kick my ass, right?
No, you're trying me, dog.
Right? And you're pointing me out, calling me out. So yeah, the moment we hit the ice,
it's on site.
It's on site, right? Everything goes out the window.
They pull me off,
right?
UFC style.
So then everybody, funny enough, nobody on the Panthers team was talking about how that kid Pasta was being dirty, throwing some extra swings at Kachuk while he was on the ice. But everybody on the Boston fucking lineup was complaining and bitching about it, right? Okay, cool. Here comes game 3. Boston wants to kind of send a message, right? And what happens? The Panthers respond hard. Boston went up. Panthers came back and tied it.
They scored early, I think. Boston again, first 10 minutes or so. And then we
turned it up.
It was like we were playing at home, dog. Like the way those boys were flying around the ice, bro.
Turned it up. And what I liked is that we met their physicality with our speed, right? And that's the way that we were able to beat these guys to a lot of the early pucks that got either poked away or kicked out of the blue zone for the Bruins, and then that allowed the Panthers to get on a breakaway. Every game since game 1, the Panthers have outshot the Bruins.
On goal. Yeah, shots
on goal, right? And those are the ones that matter the most, because you could shoot 100 times, but if you're not hitting the goalie or at least making them work, then what are you doing? You're not really creating chances.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that game 3 also, we ended up going up, and then it was like, I think we ended up like 4-1 or 4-0, I think, at that point.
We were up 4-1.
And then they ended up scoring 2 within like a minute in the third period.
Right.
Within like the same 90
Well, they
seconds.
scored. We were up 3-0. They scored, made it 3-1. We went up 4-1. Then they scored and made it 4-2.
It was a lot of scoring that was happening there. And then it was like, all right, we need to make sure we enclose this. Like, it was kind of not like a scary moment by any means, but it was like, Boston can easily get back in this game. They have the team. They have the roster for it.
Absolutely.
And I think it showed how much we have on our team, that we were able to not only stop their little run that they had those 2 goals pretty quick, but then we can also extend our lead even further.
No, and the way that we did it, right? Like actually going out there and playing tough hockey, their style of hockey, but again, using our talents and our skills, which is the speed. Our speed is killing these guys, because once they lose the puck, it's 3 guys out, and it's like...
I think Rodriguez had to go in that game 3.
Tremendo breakaway.
That was a ridiculous one. Yeah, he got it on a turnover, and he's just too quick on the
Even
outside.
in this game 4 right now, right? Like, that's past game.
We're gonna get
there.
1, 2, and 3.
No. We're gonna get to the end of 3, right? But even in that game, we had 3 or 4
series so far.
So towards the end of game 3, right before the game is over, Sam Bennett being hit, attacked all day, right, in these 3 games by that dude Marchand, who I mentioned earlier, captain, and he goes out there and decides to give him a dirty blow, right? Okay, cool, because they want to get back at Kachuk. They're trying to get back to our main guys.
Yeah, they want revenge.
Sam Bennett catches Buddy slipping. He's coming towards the bench on the opposite side, not really looking.
Head on a swivel, big guy.
Head on a swivel, dog. You want that smoke? You're the badass out here. Then you gotta have your eyes on the back of your head 24/7, because you got a target. Just like our guys have a target on them, you have a target on you. And Buddy wasn't paying attention, and Bennett rocked him. Now, some people say it was a hit. Some people say it was a sucker punch. I like to think it was a little mixture of both.
Maybe it was both. Yeah.
Right? But my whole thing was...
How did they call it? That's at the end of the day, how did they call it?
They didn't call the penalty, right? So, boom.
It was clean.
Right?
But... what you want, but it was clean.
You can't be a bully on the ice...
And then get mad when you get smacked.
And then get mad when something happens to you that you may not agree with how it was done. But guess what? There are no rules, dog. If you're a badass and I'm a badass, then we're going to figure out who's the real badass.
Right. We're going to settle one thing.
All right? That's the only way. So these dudes, again, complaining all hell. They wanted this dude to get kicked out. Bennett stayed in the game. I think he scored later on in that game. So there was a lot of tension and even more built up beef heading into game 4. And everybody was thinking, well, Boston's going to come out. Their backs against the walls. They're going to come out fucking firing, and they're going to come out and kick the shit out of us. And they came out, and they scored an early goal again, right?
Took the lead.
Took the lead early.
Rightfully so. They're at home. They got the crowd behind them. You know, I thought it was honestly, you know, going to be like that. Like, they were going to win. They were going to have their good game again, and we were going to kind of have a ping pong match. But this was the best game of the series so far.
Absolutely.
I mean, just to wait for the Panthers, you know, at the very least, like to see what they had to go through in this game to get the victory, and the way that they do it, dog. I mean, bro, one thing I want to talk about is power plays.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have stats on power plays for this?
I don't have them. If you can bring them up.
I'll pull that up while you go ahead.
My thing is, right, and you said it earlier, Boston is that good of a team. Right? It's not like we're playing some scrubs here. We're playing the team that we beat by 1 point for that top seeded spot, right? So Boston absolutely deserves their respect with the talent that they have on their team. And when you make mistakes like the Panthers did in the first period, you're going to get burned from them at this level.
100%.
And that's why they went up 2-0. Panthers couldn't clear the puck on the first goal, left it right there within 10 feet of the goal for this guy, and he made a goal. A badass goal. Great shot on the power play for them, right? Second goal, again, a bad pass that turns into a breakaway, that turns into a good setup for the Boston Bruins, and they capitalize and get another goal. So they're feeling great about themselves, right? Going up 2-0, heading into the second period. But the Panthers, I'm sure they felt like, we're still in it. We're still in it.
Never count them out.
Never counted them out because they were really unfazed by the physicality that Boston was trying to play with. And at the same time, they knew that the goals that they had were not manufactured goals by Boston, right? It's not like they had a good form of defense and then they got to set up some plays and were inside our zone for a minute and a half. No, that's not what happened.
6 power play opportunities for the Panthers, 4 for the Bruins that night.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say it was more of the Panthers fucking up and allowing Boston to get into the game in the manner that they did, right? But with about, 7 minutes left, 5 minutes left in the second period, we got Antoine Lundell to score a goal, I think his third of the playoffs, and that thing gave the Cats everything that they needed in order to boost them up. Because now they were like, now we know Boston's worried because all we need is 1 goal, and we've shown them that we can hang with them and completely shut them out. That the goals that they got were lucky goals.
There was a little bit of controversy around that game.
A little bit. But because, again, they wanted penalties being called.
Yep, same story.
And this is playoff hockey. Just like there's playoff football, and you're not going to call every single penalty, the same shit applies here in playoff hockey. Yep. It's a physical sport. Guys are going to get hit. People are going to get knocked down, and people are going to get pushed. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So you can't expect the referees to blow the whistle for every little thing. Number one, it's hard to see in real time because those guys are moving hella fast on the ice. Right? And number two, you just don't have the angles. You just don't have the angles to see certain things. That puck is fucking 3 inches, 4 inches. Like, come on, dude. Like, you're not seeing that thing, right? Or who hit it or what stick it belonged to. No, you're making judgment calls in 0.025 seconds. That's really hard to do. But even still, the Panthers were focused. They didn't let the controversy, whether it counted, didn't count. They were focused. Yeah. And once that period ended and they were going into the third period down just 1 goal, I was like, oh, this is going to be set up to be a Panthers comeback, dog. And for sure, that was the case. You know, Sam Bennett, dog, we talked about him earlier. I think that he's just in the Boston Bruins' heads, like heavy, right? Because he laid down the big hit. He's scoring goals. He's scoring power play goals, being an effective first-line guy. And he's out there putting up critical goals. And that was another, hotly contested goal because they wanted to call goalie interference because of the defenseman that he kind of got in the way while Sam Bennett was trying to push the puck into the goalie net. But A, the guy was late to the play, and B, his back was to everything. He was back to the puck. It was back to the goal. It was back to Sam Bennett. So there was no way that guy was going to be able to defend Sam Bennett. And I'm glad that it went to Toronto, which is a completely, neutral site for them to decide whether or not that was a goal. And that goal stood. And once that goal came through, it was over. It was over for Boston because you could tell that they were demoralized. Number one, Jim Montgomery, the coach for the Bruins, was complaining. The guy could not shut up for the rest of the game, right? Yelling at the refs. And even the team. You could tell that the team was shooken up because they didn't know how to respond. The only way that they knew how to respond was physicality.
Right.
And then they ended up getting those 6 penalties, and most of them were in the third period, which gave the Panthers opportunities to not only just kill time, right, by having a man advantage, but we're making you work harder. Now you're rotating more guys. Your guys are getting tired because they're being on the ice more, right?
And I was pulling it up, but the previous game, the game 3, we had the same thing, 6 opportunities.
Yep.
4 goals on that. So, when you have more opportunities and you keep scoring, it's going to be, you know what I mean? They're going to be on tilt kind of a deal. But, dog, another guy you got to shout out. I know Bennett's playing great. I know all these guys you can nitpick at any of them, but you got to give Barkov some flowers.
That's why he's the captain.
Please give him that message, his flowers
that guy is the captain.
Assists, goals,
legend.
Big hits.
Number one, that guy's jersey number is going to get retired. Retired. Not like, hey, we're going to hang up his... No, retired. Nobody's going to use Barkey's number ever again, right? And we're probably going to have to put a statue in front of this guy in front of the fucking stadium. That's how important he's been.
Other statues in front of us?
No, we don't.
Okay, just making sure.
He's going to be the guy that does it. If we win this Stanley Cup Finals, it's going to be off the back of Barkov, dog, because he's been the fucking pillar since day one of how to build this championship team. And without him, and we're talking 4 seasons in, homie, right? Without that guy, there's no way that the Panthers would have ever turned into a contender. Ever. And for him to score an amazing goal like he did, dog, I don't know if you saw it, but it was,
the
solo
goal?
Come on, dude. You got by 3 guys. You split this guy. I'm going to divide this guy. I'm falling, and I'm still going to put it over the goalie. Ahí, a little blocker. Toma ahí, and we're going to go home and get this dub. There's only a few people in hockey that can do that and make it look as graceful as he did, dog. And he knew he scored the goal. As soon as he hit as soon as he even shot it, he was going down. He was like, count that.
Kobe. I think I heard it.
You know what I mean?
I heard him say it.
And that just shows you how he doesn't have to be the guy in front. He doesn't have to be the guy scoring all the goals, but he's going to be the guy to make game-winning plays, whether it's on defense or on offense. And, man, what an amazing goal that Barkov put in there to give us the lead, dog. And
41 shots to their 18.
Yeah. And look, you talk about Boston, right, and what they did to lose this game. They put themselves in harm's way. How many penalties? How many chances are you going to give? You're going to allow how many shots from this high-powered offense? I don't care if it was the playoffs or not. If it was a regular game, you would have lost this game because of the lack of offense that you guys had and the amount of opportunities that you allowed the Panthers or they created for themselves, right? Boston, again, I think that they're really, in their own heads now because they see that there's no way out of this series. Right, they're gonna lose. It's 3-1. It's a wrap. This shit's over tomorrow by the time you guys are hearing this. But también, even playing in that game, they feel, right, quote unquote, they feel like everything's stacked up against them. So that makes it harder for those dudes to perform. It makes it harder for those dudes to come through. And on top of that, you're playing at home where you just lost 2 games back to back. 2 games back to back where you were leading after the first period.
So game 5 is back home or
back
Boston?
Home? Back home here. Back home here.
So, I mean, I think we closed it out. But, yeah, it's nice to know we took 2 up there already. So, it's like we can do it again if need be. But I want the fans here to get their home playoff victory.
Absolutely. They deserve it, right?
And then the Panthers deserve it, too. I mean, the way that things are playing out, the Rangers, even though they
good.
lost, we got a little bit of, some
They're playing
extension.
tonight, actually, so.
They might be done. They might be wrapping up the series. So, we need to wrap out ours so that they don't have more rest than we do or anything.
Take care of business at home, right? We talked about the power plays, right? If we talked about the Panthers and what was their biggest Achilles heel, right, in the last 3 seasons, we would point out to not being able to capitalize on the other team's mistakes, right? They would get penalties, and we would have these long droughts of not scoring a goal. Long droughts, 3 games, 2 games without scoring in a penalty. Now this Panthers team is equipped to score in any fashion. So that whole playing rough against them, let's try to get them out, and we'll give them a penalty here and there, and we'll catch them and hope that that strategy is out the window right now for this Panthers team, because you cannot rely on them being bad at the penalties, because the numbers are showing it this series. Even if you give them 5 opportunities at a penalty, they're gonna hit 1 or 2.
Well, I mean, right now
they're gonna hit it
in the 3 wins. Okay, because I won't talk too much about the loss, but the 3 wins in this series alone, we've had an average of 6 power play opportunities, and we've scored 33% of the time.
Look at that. That's high as hell, man.
I mean,
for hockey,
it's huge, and it's one of them. Is one game in particular that skews the stat a little bit, but
who cares?
You're still talking about at least 2. Yeah, it's a third. It's a third that you're averaging. A third of the time that you have a power play, you're going to score, and those are great stats to have. We need it. We need to beat these guys handily. I think we did that already in Game 2. We gave it back to them and said, look, we can do to you what you did to us. That first game was a fluke. We had some time off. We were shaking off the rust. Game 3, first game in Boston. Frankly, I didn't think we were going to win both games. I knew we were going to win one.
Right.
I didn't think we were going to take both.
Right.
The fact that they took both, I think they have all the confidence in the world to close it out at home now, dog.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Gatos.
And they're the better team.
100%.
They're the better team.
They've proven it through 4 games.
Like what we were talking about outside, the numbers and the stats of the current competition are not lying. They're not lying. These numbers state that the Panthers have been better in every aspect of this series. Defensively, offensively, and especially at goaltending. Because as good as Swayman has been, and that kid has been amazing for Boston, dog. If not, Boston would have lost by 10 goals, right? This kid has been great, and he's going up against another great in Big Bob, right? Big Bob's playing out of his mind. This kid's playing out of his mind, and it's still a defensive battle. So that's how good the goalie play has been on both sides. Panthers, again, just with so many more opportunities, bound to make them. And I really do think that they wrap up the series on Tuesday. 7:30, that's when the puck drops. I'll be watching. Hopefully you guys, a couple of you guys will be in attendance. And yeah, man, vamos gatos. Let's wrap up this series.
I can't wait, baby.
Go on to the next round and focus on the Stanley Cup. That's the focus. Stanley Cup. That's it, man. Let's see who wins tonight between the Rangers and the Hurricanes, dog. Hopefully the Rangers do wrap it up. And that way we can wrap it up.
I think they are. I think the Rangers are going to take that, but that's going to, bro, the Rangers have been playing great this year. It's going to be a battle.
Yeah.
It's going to be a battle.
And it's good to have that rivalry too, dog.
Yeah, New York.
We got to hit up DJ Monopoly.
It's great to run through Boston and then run through New York, and then anybody can get it after that.
Man. Yeah, I got to hit up my boy DJ Monopoly, man. He's the DJ for the Rangers and the Knicks, dog.
Oh, okay.
That's right. We got to hit up the homie. I'm going to text him. We're coming for you, cuz. No, I'm kidding. Let's jump into the Dolphins, right?
Yes, sir.
Because the last episode, we didn't really touch too much on the Dolphins, right? We talked about them a little bit.
Frankly, we were still recovering. We
were really recovering from the golf trip.
But breaking news.
Right.
Oh, wrong one.
Wrong button. That's the one.
We signed Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
10 years too late, but hey.
For sure. But you and I had talked about this, right? Because when he came in for the meeting, you had asked me, like, so what do you think about what he can contribute, right? And the only thing that I really walked away with was he can contribute a lot, right? But what can he take away from? What can he take away? What's the negative side to this, right? And I think that with this signing, I still see it in that form. Guy's an amazing wide receiver. Obviously, he's lost a step, right? Obviously, he's not going to be able to jump as high as he once could have and all these spectacular plays. But his main asset as a wide receiver is and always will be his route running tree. His ability to run so many different routes and cut every single route the same way every single time. That makes him not only an elusive receiver, but a high level wide receiver, right? Because not all wide receivers can run a wide receiver route tree. So I think he brings that to the table. He's a guy who can go up and get it. You need to throw a jump ball? Odell can do that for you. It's not great if you're going up against a guy 6'4", maybe not, but he can still get up there and go get it more than probably anybody else on our staff right now, right? That's a wide receiver, not a tight end. When I think about the negative, though, That's the shit that really has me worried. Because if he comes in with the right attitude and everything's great for the first couple of weeks, but his numbers and his production starts to dwindle down as the season progresses and the running game really gets going, and now we're using 3-4 running backs and we're rushing the ball 32 times instead of throwing the ball 30, 40, 50 times, I don't know how he's going to respond to that. I don't know. Again, and the only reason why I say I don't know how he's going to respond to that is because we don't know what was told to him in that room. And so we see it on the field. Not even practice. We need to see it on the field, how he's being used, right?
Right.
So we don't know what McDaniel and the rest of the coaching staff told him, hey, this is how we're going to use you. But my guess is we got another running back. We've improved the offensive line to be suited better to run blocking schemes. Everything that's happening with this team is showing me that, hey, we're trying to get the running game to be our main point of attack, right? We brought back who did we bring back? One of the wide receivers. Not a wide receiver, a running back, but we kept him. I think it was the third or fourth wide receiver, running back. We have Mostert. Achman. And he barely played.
Achman.
And he barely played, but he's been here, and we like to use him. But that's already what?
He's a big body.
4 or 5 running backs that we have in that room?
We have a whole other conversation to have about running backs because,
right?
you know, we still have Raheem Mostert and we have Devon Achane. So it's like, what more do we need? You obviously want depth, but we have like 3 or 4 guys behind them.
But what I'm saying is, like, how does, for you, and maybe you can answer this for me, how does Odell fit into that?
I think what you're trying to say is there's a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah.
And, you know, where does a guy like that fit in? Well, I think, you know, we've seen it. You know, I think we've seen in the progression of Odell's career from going from, you know, the number one in New York in the Giants, right, and making those crazy plays and all that to, you know, kind of taking it a notch down and becoming more of a team player in his Super Bowl win with the Rams. You know, him and Ramsey, you know, they have that chemistry.
Yeah, they're boys.
About it,
like,
they're boys. Running back last time we were together, we got a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So I think he understands now, you know, he can bring that to the table, you know, has that championship mentality. He knows what it takes to win a Super Bowl, down to the little plays, just the little first dump off to first down that's going to get you the chains to continue the drive that's going to set up the touchdown. You know, he has that knowledge and wherewithal, has a high IQ, I would say.
Yeah.
And my question to you, though, you know, I think he brings a lot to the table. I think that there's more, it's more of a net positive with Odell than a net negative because there's so much more that he can bring to the table. If not, the Dolphins wouldn't have offered him what they offered him.
Correct.
But who do you think benefits the most by Odell's presence?
I think if I had to say a position, it would be the tight ends, right? And
I was hoping for an individual.
If it's an individual,
one person in particular, you think
it has to be
benefits the most.
It has to be Jalen Waddle. It has to be Jalen Waddle, right?
Why?
Because you got to think about it like this, right? You're not gonna stack. You want to give Tyreek enough room to work, right? And we know that he's always gonna be in motion, right? So Odell and Waddle are probably going to be lining up together most of the times, or at least on one side of the field, right? He's that good.
Odell and Waddle?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Odell's going to be the other wideout.
Right? He's not going to be the one that's really in motion too often. He's going to be set in his little slot position, and then him and Odell can swap, you know, hey, I'm in the slot now. No, you be in the slot for this route, whatever the case, right? But those two guys are going to be next to each other for a good portion of the season, health, you know, permitting. I think Waddle benefits the most because having that guy next to you as a threat just eases up the one-on-one matchup that you're going to have with your guy. And we know that Waddle's good enough to beat guys one-on-one, especially if it's not your best guy. If it's your best guy, then it's a battle, right? It's a battle. He's good enough, but he ain't super raw, right? But if it's not your best guy and it's your second or third best guy, then yeah, Waddle's going to smoke him, dog. And we saw games last year where Waddle has 6 catches for 120-something yards, 130 yards, and he would fucking smoke somebody and take one to the house. He's very capable. So I think that he's the main beneficiary of being lined up next to Odell. Now, again, if you talk to him, if you ask me as a position, it's tight end. It's tight end because now everything underneath is yours, brother. Everything underneath is yours. Every single play. And even when we're in the red zone, all you got to do is stand in the back of the end zone and go like this. Wave your hands. And hopefully Tua will find a big target back there. But those guys are going to be running routes. 10, 15 yard routes. The tight end's going to block a little bit, and then boom, here's a 5-yard, 7-yard, 10-yard out. That's going to be open all day.
And we got a guy like Jonnu Smith now who can make plays. And I see your thought process there, but I agree. I think Jalen Waddle Bennett has so much to gain. He also has the most to lose
in a contract year.
Well, because of the fact that we can point at both of them and say they've both been injury prone. They both have issues with injuries.
Yeah, all three of them.
So you go down for a few games. Odell's taking your time. You know what I mean? The Dolphins might not be so prone to give you such a good contract extension later on or whatever. You need all those minutes. So, it's going to be, I think, a healthy competition, maybe a little bit of mentorship. He's a little bit older. You can teach him a little bit about, the game. So, I think he has a lot to he has the most to lose, but he also has the most to gain by Odell's presence. But going by that thought process, aside from Jalen Waddle, another position, I mean, going back to the running back room, how stacked it is, that's where I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's been the lack in our game, bro. I think back to that Patriots dynasty, bro, right, with Tom Brady and why Tom Brady did so well.
They ran
you
the
can
ball
always think of
28
guys
times.
like James White or
Sony Michel.
Sony Michel or I mean, there's a bunch that I can't even think of right now, but a bunch of those guys that just sat for a little, for a second for the block and then dump off the check down guy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking maybe I would like to see Jonnu maybe block a little bit more, give us an extra guy on the line to block, get to some more time, and then the running backs can potentially, with this much depth out there in the field, the running backs who we know have speed, Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane, the rookie that we just signed is supposed to be super fast.
He is super fast.
Those guys now just dump it off and let them explode in the open field. So I hope everybody benefits by this.
I don't even think it's going to be dump offs. I think it's literally going to be running attempts, stretch plays to the outside.
Design
sweep,
runs.
toss. Design runs into that space.
Just the fact that we've been so pass heavy under the McDaniels regime leads me to think, all right, just based on what we've done already, we're going to probably keep it in that realm, but hopefully we add a dimension to the passing.
So glad you brought that up. I think this is where we see the evolution of McDaniels as a coach and as an offensive play caller.
Adding more running to the game.
Adding more running to the game to get more life out of your best players. What happened last year? We rode that Tyreek Hill train way too early, way too hard. Now with Odell, guess what? I don't have to give Tyreek 15 targets week 3 to win a game. I can give him 7 and give Waddle 6 and give Odell 4 or 5 and give Jonnu 2 or 3, 4. And then meanwhile, controlling the game with our running game. Because McDaniels, I hope he realizes that a lot of the games that we lost late last year in the regular season wasn't because we played terribly on offense, wasn't because the defense, those happened. That happened once or twice, but most of it was because we couldn't control the ball. We couldn't control a small lead. We couldn't control being the first team to score. And that comes with running the football. And I think that's why that has to be his main focus this year. So all the offensive weapons are great, but if it doesn't come with the control and the power running game and being able to get a first down with 1 yard with the backs and the line that you have, then we're going to be right back in the boat that we were in last year. So I'm hoping McDaniels realizes that, says I got enough horses in the stable now, in my running back stable, to just attack and run and run and run and run and run. Because guess what, bro? We don't have to, that showed you last year, we don't have to have a 1,500 yard back. We can have 6, 4, 5,000 yard, 900, 800 yard backs. And that shit is a lot better than just relying on one guy. I'd rather have 4 guys at 800 than one guy at 1,500. You get what I'm saying?
Running back by committee.
Run the ball. That's what happened in New England. You talked about the New England days. They didn't give a fuck who was back there. We're running that. We're running that until you're dead tired. And in the fourth quarter, it's Tom Brady time. Now we come over the top, and my guys are fresh. I'm hoping that that's what the offense turns into.
Yeah.
I'm also hoping that a lot of these rookies make the team and earn their spots, right? Because we saw that rookie camp open. All the rookies were in attendance, including Chop Robinson, Jalen Wright, the running back you had mentioned earlier, Mohamed Kamara, the defensive end that we drafted, even Patrick McMorris, who's the safety that we drafted, an interesting guy. Taj Washington, a guy who can probably make the squad, or at least the practice squad, being a tall target. Excuse me. I liked that a lot. Because when you see rookies come in like that and they're bought in and they're trying to get acclimated, they're trying to get up to speed, and it's because they know there's a good thing going on in the building and they want to be a part of it. They want to contribute. I got drafted here. Shit, I could help this team get to the next level. I could help this team win a playoff game. I can help this team go 13 and whatever, 14 and whatever. I can be a depth position. I can be the next. And when you have that mentality, all that does is add more fuel and confidence to the team locker. That's it. Because we're not really depending on none of these rookies to come out here and amaze us. Right? Amaze us.
The bar is pretty low.
The bar is pretty low. Chop has a good chance, right? We know that Jalen Wright has a good chance literally because he's a track star. You can give this guy the ball and he makes somebody's miss. He's running far really fast, right? There are talents on this. Shit, that dude, Mohamed Kamara, I don't know if you saw a picture of him on Instagram, dog. Go look that picture up on your IG of the Dolphins, of all the rookies there. Because he's the tallest guy there by at least 6 inches. A monster. Again, the fact that all these dudes are bought in and in rookie camp, whether they're signed or not to their contracts, they're in the building, they're in there working, they're in there learning.
Mohamed Kamara?
Yeah.
No, you might be thinking about somebody else.
Go to the Dolphins picture.
If this is him, he's only 6'1".
No. Go to the Dolphins picture.
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Their Dolphins IG?
Yeah. You're going to see it, bro. This guy stands out like a Empire State Building. But you get what I'm saying? Like when you have these rookies and they can come in and be a part of the unit, I really think that bodes well. Scroll down a little bit. I really think that bodes well for the team building aspect right there, dog.
I can't see it here, but
bro, look how tall that guy is, dog.
I mean, he's 6'1". He's just bigger than everybody else that's there.
Dog, bro, I think he looks way bigger than 6'1".
6'1" is what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe he's not Muhammad. Maybe it's not Muhammad, but he's a big mother effer. I'll tell you that much, dog. Number 52, right?
52, look at him right here. Who's number 32? Is that Jalen Wright?
Yeah.
So let's look up Jalen Wright and see how tall he is.
Yeah,
Jalen
bro,
Wright.
come on, dog. There's no way that you make a guy.
Jalen Wright is 5'11".
Come on, dog. There's no way that's the same dude. That's not the same dude. That's not the same dude. As a matter of fact, no, I got it right now.
6'6", 6'8".
I got it right now. Look, Dolphins, boom, right here. Who is this guy? Oh, that's Patrick Paul, baby.
Oh, we had the wrong guy?
We had the wrong guy.
So you're talking about Patrick Paul?
The center. No wonder, dog. Look how big that guy is, dog.
His center?
Yeah.
His new center? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wait, his name is Patrick Paul?
Patrick Paul from Nigeria.
Oh, he's part of the NFL international program, I think. Patrick Paul, Houston, offensive tackle. 6'7.5". Yeah, there you go.
Come on, dog.
There we go.
Come on, dog. Come on.
He was our second round pick.
Guy's a beast.
Round
beast
two,
of a man, dog.
Huh.
Beast of a man. Athletic. Again, but this is the reason why I think we're gonna be focused on running the ball, dog. We're really trying to build up this offensive line, dog.
That tells me we're focusing on protecting Tua.
No, that's obviously job number one, dog. But let's see. Let's see, man. Again, I'm really happy all the rookies showed up. Yeah, I'm really happy. That's a good sign. Great sign.
That's a good note. That's a
great
good
sign.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see training camp. I think the boys, I've been seeing pictures and stuff going up. People posting different things already of them out there and getting ready and getting primed. So we've had a couple good drafts in the last couple of years. We've had a couple good training camps, and we've had a couple good seasons, bro. I hope this one is a great draft, great training camp, and a great season.
Doesn't have to be a Super Bowl winning season.
No, but we got to get playoff wins.
Let's get some playoffs.
Let's get that monkey off our back.
Let's get some playoff dubs. You know what I mean? Let's keep it rolling with that. Quick update, because it is a quick update. No new news on Tyreek Hill's restructure or extension. Nothing on the Tua contract or extension. So that could either be good news or bad news. But all I know is that we better not have that same type of approach with Waddle and Holland, because those guys are coming up too, and we saw two guys in Waddle's class get paid respectively from his wide receiver position.
Yeah,
so
he has to get his bag.
We're gonna have to see, man. We're gonna have to see.
Stats have been there anyway, so
let's see, man. Dolphins offseason is officially over, right? Rookies are in training camp, and then pretty soon we'll have official training camp, and then we're just gonna go from there, dog, and see where the ride takes us, dog.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna see where the ride takes us, dog. Quick honorable mention. Shout out to Rory. for winning the Wells Fargo championship, even though Joel hates you. I don't hate you.
Bro, and I don't know if I was talking to you or who I was talking to last week, but I'm like, he's not winning it. I'm like, Rory's not winning this thing.
And then he goes out there and fucking balls.
Literally went out and won the Wells Fargo right before the PGA Championship.
Good momentum.
In typical Rory fashion. Get everybody hyped up. You know, oh, can Rory do it? You know, he's going to be the storyline going into it. Can he win another PGA Championship? And blah, 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 blah. And he's going to...
I think he just has to make the cut.
Against the best competition in the world that we're going to see.
Let's see, right? Let's see. Let's see,
bro.
All he has to do, mentally, in my opinion, for him, all he has to do is make the cut. Make the cut.
His problem isn't so much making the cut because he makes the cut regularly, bro. You know what it is? It's hard for him to put together 4 amazing rounds.
Yes.
He'll go 3 great rounds, but either that Thursday round or that Sunday round, he shits the bed and it always kills him. Yeah. So think about it. He either starts off hot and finishes like shit, or he starts off like shit and then finishes hot, but he's too far back.
But let me tell you something, dog. I feel like this, especially this championship, right? This next what is it called, major. I think a lot of the guys going into it kind of defeated already, right? Seeing how good Scotty has been playing, how dominant he has been, right? He's eased up a little bit because of the birth.
That's going to be another storyline. He's taking a couple weeks off. Can Scotty maintain that high level of play after the birth of his first child?
And if he does, dog, that's some for real Tiger shit.
Yeah.
That's some for real Tiger shit. Like, hey, I gave you guys 3 weeks to work on your game. This is all you got. I'm sorry for you guys. Fragata. You know, here comes another major. Let me get this trophy and I'm out.
Plus 300.
Wow. What's
Scotty
Brooks
right
at?
So Brooks is at plus
defending
1,000.
champion Brooks kept
plus 1,000.
Okay. Who's also in that top 5? I'm wondering.
Well, one of them might surprise you. The other one behind Brooks Koepka is Xander Schauffele.
Okay.
Plus 1,200.
I like that.
There's another guy at plus 1,200, and it's not John Rahm. He's at plus 1,400.
Who's that?
Ludwig Oberg.
Oh, shit. Look at that
Made
guy.
a run at the Masters, made kind of a name for himself.
Wow.
Had a couple of top,
has
top
been playing
fives.
real good golf.
Real good golf. So he's up there in the top 5.
Damn, good for him, dog.
Other guys.
That's money value. Right? Let me tell you, by the way, dog.
I mean, but also, so this is the Valhalla, right? This is where they're playing at in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Tiger's there.
So, man, Tiger got, I think, a sponsor's exemption. But, I mean, I don't know. Give me a name. Give me somebody that you like.
Where is Morikawa?
Colin Morikawa. I just saw his name. Plus 2,500.
And what's Rory at?
One of the favorites. Rory's plus 600.
Okay.
So more value, Morikawa, Max Homa plus 3,300.
That's an interesting guy right there.
Cameron Smith plus 3,300.
But I think, like, look, a lot of these guys that we're naming right now are very interesting picks. Very interesting picks. But even a couple of these guys have come out and recognized Scotty's greatness so far this year. So it goes back to what we were talking about with the Panthers and the Bruins. Could it be that Scotty's in these guys' head? Like
partially, he's partially in their head, but it's not even in the Tiger way, because Tiger was intentionally in your head,
right? The stare down, I want to play.
I'm better than you,
right?
It feels like Scotty's just like
cool about it.
Like, I don't know, man. I'm just golfing. Like, I'm just really good at it. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? And like that gets in people's head. Like the thought that like
he's shy about
doesn't care about it enough. Like. To that competition aspect, it's just he cares about the golf aspect of it,
right?
And therefore he is such a good golfer. I think that's what gets in people's head. But Tiger Woods plus 1,250.
Look at that. I'm gonna bet it
plus 12,500.
I'm gonna bet it no matter what because he's Tiger Woods, dog. But yeah, man, imagine being in the locker room, right? And everybody's like, well, shit, man, I played bad. And Scotty walks in like, yeah, man, I played terrible. It's like, motherfucker,
yo,
you just shot a 60, dog. What? What are you talking about? He's like, nah,
nobody else broke par
I missed
today.
the green.
I missed that putt on 18.
I missed that putt.
For the record.
I missed the fairway today, guys. I'm human.
Shut up, Scotty.
Get out of here, Scotty. Nobody wants to play with you.
I wonder how long it's gonna take before he turns into the bad guy.
Dog, it's that dog. He's too nice. You can't turn nice guys like that, dog,
like
into bad guys, dog.
Nice.
He's nice. He's a nice guy, and he's a nice bet to win, dog. He really is. Because look, at the last major, right, we saw some of the top guys in their best form. And this dude smoked them. Like, was behind and then went and got ahead and said, peace out.
Didn't even play his best.
Didn't even play his best.
Could have played better.
Just enough to come back
still won
and make that separation.
By a commanding lead.
Yeah, I don't know if these guys mentally have it to compete with Scotty this trip, man.
Oh, who knows? This
We'll
this
see.
week could be different. Brooks didn't have the performance he wanted. He made the cut of the Masters, but didn't have the performance that he wanted. The PGA Championship seems to be, something he's comfortable with, and
nice. Won it twice already.
Likes that competition, that motivating factor. It's different because all the PGA players are there. It's kind of like the US Open. You qualify for that. Like, these are all the PGA professionals that can qualify for it and all that. So, like, it's a whole nother level of competition that you want to make sure you got your name in the books on. Like, hey, I beat all of these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Including Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah. Wow, he was number one.
Who knows, man? Who knows? I'm rooting for Brooksy. That's my guy.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I want him to make it interesting. Yeah. He knows the course really well.
Sick. That'd be sick for him.
Come on, dude. Especially that one, dog. Back to back. Come on.
Yeah, do it again.
Come on. And again, while Scotty's number one and dominating a course that you've dominated before, I think it'll be awesome for him to go out there and repeat as champ. But we're gonna be watching it, and we'll bring you the highlights and the lowlights, and we'll bring a little bit of everything here on Sports with SoSo, man. But it's about that time where you got to tell a friend,
to
tell one more friend,
to tell everybody they know,
and tell everybody that they know to make sure that they're subscribed to the channel, hitting that notification button, dropping likes and comments like it's raining on a regular Wednesday out here in Miami. Until next time, peace.